Land and Auction LLC, Rogers and Associates Insurance, Phillips County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Ron Juneman at Family Eye Care, Amber Wave, American Family Insurance, Farmers National Bank, Phillips County Health Systems, Phillips County Community Foundation, Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street, Trinity Ag LLC. And now, here's Tad Feltz.
Good morning, and I wish you a happy Easter. This is our Holy Thursday, then tomorrow's Good Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday, then no school tomorrow here because of Good Friday. I can remember growing up that we would go to school till noon, and then all the stores would close from noon until 3 on Friday, and then everything's back open again.
Wow.
So that goes way back. That goes back about 80 years ago. So anyway, But we did get out of, we go, and then we'd have an assembly, and at noon to 3, then school would be out. So anyway, it's got to be a busy, it was going to be a busy one, and it's still going to be pretty busy this morning, but we had a couple of guests that couldn't make it. One, we're going to have Bill Schick on. He was going to talk about the KMEA, and I've known Bill forever, and I've had lots of things to do with him. He's not doing feeling well, so he didn't make it. And also, we're going to have Cynthia Clonch, who's going to come on this morning and talk about what's happening next month. That's the big event. That's, of course, the classes reunion, and she was going to talk about that, but she's out of the weather, so we've done a little jibbing around here. We've got Angie on first. You were here scheduled, so you're okay.
Yep.
Mary Smith is going to be on talking about the piano recital and piano camp. We're going to move her up, and then we're going to do again, as always, filling in. Kim Pakkebier is going to come in and talk about forensics. It's a very successful year so far. We're going to talk about how all that works. So we've changed things around a little bit.
That's okay.
A couple of things. There's no grab and go soup today at the Community Church of God. It was all during Lent they had that, but no soup today. So don't go, if no one's out there bringing soup, just drive off because there's no soup today. Becky Sadler, who had an accident the other night after that great concert, that couple out of Nebraska, she is getting better, I hope. And since she won't be able to give the service Sunday morning at the Community Church of God, so it's going to be Roger Cooper, 10:30 this Sunday morning at the Community Church of God. We hope, Becky, you're getting good, and Bill too. Okay. Yes. Last week we had on Sandra Van Kooten talking about the community garden. And they still have some plots. They have both the in-ground and raised plots. So for the community garden, if you want to still get in on this, it's 785-302-0486, Sandra Van Kooten, and you can have that plot reserved for you. There will be no cinnamon. They already have the full order for the cinnamon rolls, so you can't call and order cinnamon rolls anymore.
Darn.
And I talked to her yesterday. She's going to deliver mine this afternoon.
Oh, well, are you going to take them with you?
All right, what?
Are you going to take them with you?
Yeah, I'll take some with me to Junction City. Yeah. My son isn't very good at baking.
Oh, you're going to go hungry for the weekend.
All right, okay. We eat out a lot when I go to Junction City. Okay. All right, so Angie, I know this is a busy week for you and everything else, so let's talk about what's happening.
Well, I don't know if you've been in the building. Of course, I have eggs everywhere in my office. And then, so we have 5,000 eggs that I had stuffed and ready to go. And
5,000?
Yep, 5,000. So they're going to be pretty cool. And I have gold eggs, these gold eggs. So I'll have 5 in each section. And if you get a gold egg, you get to come to see the Easter Bunny. And the Easter Bunny will have a prize for you.
Wow.
So yes, that's going to be a lot of fun. It starts at 10 a.m., 0 to 2-year-olds, and then 3 and 4-year-olds are after that, and then 5 and 6-year-olds, and then 7 and 10-year-olds. And I just kind of roll with it because we used to have like time limits, and those kids are quick. They can pick up them eggs in no time.
They want to get that stuff.
Yes. So we just kind of roll with it, and then I let them get so many, and then they all go back to the curb, and then I say, okay, let's go. Oh, I'm sorry.
It wasn't the president or anything, was it?
No, it wasn't the president.
Okay.
but we get to do that, and then afterwards they get to go see a board member with the bunny ears and a pink shirt, and then they get to go and they go around to, there's 10 businesses that will have the bags for them.
Wow.
And I stuffed several bags. So yes, so it was fun. But there's chalk and bubbles and just candy, and there's just different things in all of them. They're all different.
Wow. This is Courthouse Square, of course.
Yes, it's at the Courthouse Square.
Okay. 5,000 eggs? You had to handle each one of them? Wow.
Yeah, I start
So how
a
many
month
baskets
ago.
will you have then, probably?
I stuffed probably well over 300.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So we should have enough for everybody, I hope. If not, then we'll figure something else out, because I don't
sure.
want any of the kids to be without something.
That's amazing. You always have a lot of kids there?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have them all the way around the square,
Yeah,
and so
wow.
it's pretty funny because sometimes I'll mess with them a little bit. I'll say, "Are you ready?" and they'll whatever, and then I'll say, "Are you sure?" and whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes they think that when I start it, they're gonna go, but I'm
Yeah.
like, "Nope, go back." So it's kind of fun.
So who puts the eggs out?
I do.
Okay.
My board members and I.
Before.
Yep. We usually start
the help of
pretty
the Easter
early.
Bunny, of course.
Oh
The Easter
yeah.
Bunny helps.
Yes, our Easter Bunny this year. I'm really excited. It's somebody new, and he's pretty nervous, but he's coming to town, and it's gonna be fun. So he hasn't ever been to Phillipsburg before, but he's gonna
Really?
come. This Easter Bunny's gonna come to Phillipsburg. So
Okay.
we're really excited to have him.
Well, that's great. So that's this Saturday. Starts
Yes.
at what again? The time?
10 a.m. around the
Okay, with
Courthouse
with
Square.
the youngest, you start younger first.
0 to 2-year-olds.
Okay. And then
Yep. And I have signs, these really awesome signs that Sign Solutions made, and have them in each section so people know where to go. And then I have the mic and get ready to talk. And it's a lot of fun.
And
you
those
can
over
take pictures
50
with the Easter
can come out
Bunny.
after 1, Saturday afternoon. Or those at 50 after 1.
That's what somebody asked me. Are you going to have an adult Easter egg hunt? And some of my kids, they always ask me that. And I'm
Sure.
like, we should sometime.
I would be there.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might
That would
have
be fun.
a little help getting it, but anyway, I would. Yeah, I loved, as a kid. I loved Easter. Because of the eggs, and my mother always there was always several things you would get, that you look forward to. And the same thing with my boys, We used to color the eggs, and all that. They still do that, still have coloring.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't color 5,000, though. They were already colored.
They're the plastic ones.
Okay.
But you get to see now a whole bunch of different ways to color eggs, like shaving cream, and put the color in there, and then roll the eggs in there. I think that's pretty cool.
I never heard that.
I know. It's just a lot of different things you can do. You can even do that with shoes. Yeah.
And you would always find an egg 3 months after behind the piano or something,
Yeah. Did it start to smell?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
well, not until we opened it. Then
yeah.
we knew not to open an egg and been back there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The names were on them, and the kids, my name's on this one. At least everybody knows my name.
Yep.
Okay.
So much fun.
Anyway, all right. So that's a big.
That's this weekend.
Okay,
and then our next big event is going to be Ladies Night Out, and that's going to be April 21st. And we're doing something different this year. So we used to give out the black paper bags, and it had goodies in there from the different stores and everything. Well, this year we're going to have it where I got canvas bags. And so it's a bag that they can have, use all through the year with groceries, with shopping, with whatever. And it says Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street on it.
Wow.
And there'll be a map inside that tells where all the shopping's going to be. And on that map, you're going to have to pay attention, because if you take that map or that bag into a store at different times of the year, and we'll post that and stuff, and we'll talk about it on here. The store may be having like a 10% off or a special if you bring in your bag, and so it's going to be a way to utilize that bag more than just throw it away. So keep that bag, and then and if you don't get to come to Ladies Night Out and get that bag, come into the office after Ladies Night Out, and grab one of those bags because we want to promote shopping in Phillipsburg.
Sure.
And just, that way it helps the stores, it helps Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street get their name out, and it's just going to be a win-win for everybody. And who doesn't like a bag? I know I have like 500, it seems like, at my house, but this is a different kind of bag, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Those bags, I get those about one a month in the mail.
Yeah?
Yeah, I get one from the Indian reservation or from some
Oh.
wanting money, and they give that
Oh,
bag.
yeah.
I've got a bunch of bags.
Yeah. Yep. But we'll start that at the event house, so just keep your eyes open
That's
for
a
that.
good idea.
Hopefully I'll be on before the 21st and talk about it a little more and get to let everybody know what's kind of going on with that. But I'm going to go back a little bit. The Prairie Chicken photography class went over super well, and so they are having some people come from Hayes come to Phillips County to go out there and do the pictures and everything. So
good.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's great. So,
Yeah.
So it was a good.
It was great. It was great. Yes, Tammy does a great job organizing that, and Tony, and it's really great. A lot of really neat pictures. I don't know if you've seen any on the Facebook page, but some neat pictures of them and everything. So
They were there to do that, and good for the community, and good for the prairie chickens.
Oh
and
yeah,
good for-
yeah. It's good all the way around. So
You suppose they watch it? Watching the pictures, the prairie chickens?
I doubt it,
Are they
but
mail?
I doubt it.
Okay.
But do want to have a
Probably.
shout out to the landowner that lets them go on their land and take those pictures, because without him,
Sure.
we couldn't do this kind of thing, and so it's really nice that they let us do that. So we appreciate it.
Were you involved in the last Saturday night's prom? Were you involved anymore?
I mean, our office, we loan them out the bingo machine. Who played bingo? Aaron, yep, okay. Bingo machine, the spinner to get the prizes, the casino stuff, the, what else do we take? The photo booth, the, trying to think what else. Just a whole bunch of different stuff.
Sure.
So we let them use that stuff for the prom, and then I'm stepping back since my kiddos aren't there
Sure,
anymore.
okay.
But I did go up and watch. Everyone looked beautiful. Some of the tuxes were a little wild, but they were very pretty and very handsome. The guys looked very handsome. The cars, I thought that was really neat. I didn't see any tractors or any of that kind of stuff this year. Just mainly a lot of fancy cars, and then you had some of the older cars, and so they were all really nice.
So you were up on the square watching,
Yep.
I know my wife and all the ladies, when they used to do it down here at the school, they would go out there and sit in the car and, there's such. That's great.
Yep. Somebody has talked once that we need to have an adult prom, and so we need to do that, an adult prom maybe, and so I might have to borrow somebody's dress sometime. So yeah.
Was there any particular trend of the fashions on the dresses, prom dresses?
They were all just beautiful. I thought they were all just really pretty this year. So yeah, but really nice. So I went to Mason's.
I'm going to share this prom story about my granddaughter. Every spring when we went back with the students, several years, even though my granddaughters were in school in Manhattan, they would come up and go back with us. And with prom time, I think my granddaughter was a sophomore, and she asked her dad, "Can I buy a prom in New York? Or buy a dress in New York?" Have you heard this story?
Yeah. But go ahead.
No,
tell again.
I hate to tell it again.
No, tell it again. A lot of people haven't done that.
Have I told her before, Kim? Okay,
Go
all
ahead.
right, it's okay. So she asked her dad, "He said, if you don't spend more than $200 for it." Okay, all right. So we got to New York. We went to Bloomingdale's.
Okay.
And she was in an hour with trying all these dresses. And the three sales ladies were great. They're from New York, talking to a girl from. But they said, Megan, do you like that one? No, but so she got her dress, came back, went to the prom, and that night at the prom, she was at the table, and all the, how you had, my folks took me to Topeka, and I got my dress in Topeka. And I went to Kansas City. Of course, Megan had to say, well, I got mine at Bloomingdale's in New York. But I think she still got, anyway, I didn't mean to.
You know, since my girls are older now and I don't get to do that anymore,
Sure, yeah.
and I loved it. A lot of moms will say, oh, that's just a terrible time, but I loved it. I loved seeing them. They look so pretty, and some of the dresses I'd be like, nope, no way. And other ones, yeah, I like that one. Oh, I want to try on 10 more. Oh, well, okay. And then they'd go back to the one that, you know, they really liked. Usually it's the first dress that they put on. Sometimes, I mean, not all the time, but usually it's the first dress. And it's like, okay, can we just stop, you know, like, that's the one. And they're like, nope, we got to try on about 20, 30 more before we do that. Do you remember that, Kim? I mean, did that happen? And it's just like, oh, golly. And then you go, when they finally say, oh, I want this dress, and it's like, okay, 3 hours later, but that's okay. It's still good. But I like shopping with my girls and stuff, but some mamas don't like to shop with their kids.
It was amazing how those sales ladies were just really into it, and everything. You know, it was just amazing. One other quick thing. We went to Idaho for 2 years, came back in '71. Out there, they were already in prom. One son went to their prom out there, and out there they were getting tuxes. Not here yet. And he was the first Phillipsburg high school boy to wear a tux at a prom in
Really?
73. They weren't doing it here yet. Wow. And he was the first one to have a tux. And of course, after that, it all kind of.
Wow. Wow.
Back then, they wore suits, but then but he had a tux, and all the other, he really had a tux, and all the rest of the tux. So, anyway.
You know what's so hard I do want to say this, that my phone
busy this morning.
Is, you know, I have these dresses and the girls all wore, and you try to advertise them, and nobody wants to buy them. Why do you girls not want to buy a used dress? Because it's so much fun going, and I mean, I can do that at my house. I can just be like the sales lady and say, oh, you look so beautiful, and I'll bring you these dresses, because I probably got, I don't know how many in my house, and it's like, wow. But yeah, I understand. We'll have a fashion show sometime and get to do that. But
some places they have someone has organized prom dress.
Yeah.
You can go in and pick them out. You know, all of the turn the prom dresses. Yeah. I think you do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh. Okay. No, just happy Easter, everyone. Just
give another plug to the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, Saturday, 10 a.m. It starts around the courthouse square. Please come bring your kids. Hopefully they'll have a good time. Bring a bag or a basket or whatever, and they get their eggs, and I say a certain amount, and then they go back, and then they get to go get all the rest of the eggs that's on the courthouse square, because I don't want to pick them all up. So they're usually gone within a few minutes. Okay. And then get to see, like I said, the Easter Bunny, and that white house is the event house, and that's where the Easter Bunny will be. And then you can go in and get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and get your ticket from the board members with the bunny ears. And yeah, that's it.
All right, well, I hope you have a happy Easter.
You too.
Something special. I don't know if you want to share that or not. But
I'm going to a Journey concert, so I'm pretty excited.
Wow.
So, yes, I've not been to a concert before, and Journey is my favorite band, and so I get to go to that, and it's, you know, I'm old enough where it's going to check it off my bucket list.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, you have a happy Easter.
Well, thank you, Tad.
Fine. Mary Smith's going to be joining us, talking about something else, a piano recital and piano camp, coming up after we take this break.
In our area, ranching and farming are more than just jobs. They represent family traditions and a way of life. They are an essential part of our community. At First National Bank and Trust, community is what matters most. From agriculture to education, we support those who make our community one to be proud of and a place to call home. First National Bank and Trust, where community matters most.
We're here for you.
Farmers and Ranchers Outlet is a locally owned and operated business in Phillipsburg, Kansas. As farmers and ranchers ourselves, we continually put our products to the test. We provide a variety of products including roping supplies, horse tack, mineral blocks, and feed, healthcare items for your animals, and of course, we have all the apparel you need to get the job done and look good while you're doing it. Stop by our store on Highway 183 or shop with us online at farmersranchersoutlet.com.
The experienced and professional team at Coombs Trucking takes pride in providing the most efficient and reliable service to our customers. From hauling to towing, our fleet of quality trucks and drivers continue to deliver safely and on time. Our team is also proud to support your team. We're here for our Little Leaguers, area high school teams, and more. Coombs Trucking enjoys giving back to the community that has been so important to us for over 50 years.
We all make bad choices. Your insurance carrier doesn't have to be one of them. Make a choice you won't regret. The foremost choice.
Are you wrestling with your financial situation? Let First National Bank and Trust help you take down the stress that comes with managing your money. First National Bank and Trust is here for our area athletes, here for our farmers, here for our business owners, here for our families, and
We're here for you.
And on the Tadpoll this morning, we're talking to Mary Smith. We're going to have Cynthia Conshaw, not feeling well. We'll have her on again later on to talk about what's coming up. And of course, that's a big class reunion, and everyone comes back. But Mary, several things we're going to talk about. First, you've been busy. You had your recital. How did that go?
I think it went well.
Okay.
Leanne Leidig and myself started doing our recital together many years ago, probably right after she got married and moved to our area. And so that's kind of fun to let the kids see and hear some music that maybe they normally wouldn't. But anyway, yeah, it went good. That's kind of the highlight of our year as far as performance goes. The kids usually start working on their pieces shortly after Christmas for contest, or like they're doing, if some of them are doing contests, so those would be the pieces probably that they play for recitals. So yep.
Okay, how many students did you have?
We had, I think, 21 this year. So various levels, starting from, I had a couple of students that have been studying piano about 6 months, and then we went all the way up through high school, several high school students. So all good.
Did you have some information there you wanted to share on that?
Not too much more about recital. I think most of the things I have are about the piano camp. But recital, I just want to say this, that it's open to the public. We have it about this time every year, and we have a little reception following. So that gives us time to, kind of visit and enjoy each other's company, I guess. So
I think it's great that the students have a chance, instead of practicing in their front room every day, to go in front and perform for someone else.
Right.
I know some get excited and some get nervous. And probably all of them get nervous.
Yeah, we all get nervous. The adrenaline starts going and all that. But I think the thing that I've tried to discuss with my students this past week, as kind of recapping, was that even though everyone makes mistakes, which we don't hear when we're listening to professional recordings because they may make 25 cuts, who knows. But we as real individuals performing live, we make mistakes, and it's fine. That's part of being human. But every single student was able to find their place and recover and come back, and that's a real challenge. So they all were able to do that.
Because it's live, I can't do that again, at least here. We do it back to the, okay, so that's great that they have that ability. Sunday night they had at the Community Church of God, they had this pit. Were you there?
I was not. I'm hanging my head, but my husband and I were shot when when recital was over and we put chairs away and so on. So I have heard them before when they were here the first time, and they were excellent.
He played William Tell Overture.
Oh yeah.
Lone Rangers theme, and a lot of, and she does. They do a lot of Irish jigs and that kind of. It was really very good. Anyway, okay, so that's out of the way. But now you have another thing coming up now.
Yes, again, Leanne and I are working together on Piano Camp, which is the week right before Memorial Day. So that's May 23, 24, 25. And we invite our students, of course, but we invite county students who may be studying with another teacher. And so we usually have a fairly large group. I think last year we had 21. Of course, that was divided into 3 different age groups, levels. But anyway, it is a lot of fun. And it's sponsored by the Phillips County Arts Council. So we are able to offer that to students for just $10 registration fee.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So how many days is the camp?
It's 3 days. Each session, they're leveled, and each session is 2 hours a day. So they get 6 hours of instruction total, and we have snacks and all kinds of things. I wrote down here the many aspects of that. But getting back to the Arts Council, I want to make sure that I point out how great it is that we have that sponsorship, because otherwise, Leanne and I would, of course, really have to charge a much higher fee.
Sure.
Just to, recoup some of our time and then, of course, the supplies. That's been wonderful. We've been able to purchase some things which I am prepared to show you today. And so the Hanson Foundation, Morgan and Cole Foundations, and the Armstrong Foundation, of course, are part of that support also. Wow. So we appreciate that. So we require or request that students have at least 6 months of piano instruction before they come. We really aren't prepared to take completely new beginners. So we try to make sure that they've had a little background, and then through middle school, high school, whatever we end up with, we can work with that. So we have a little bit of a theory segment where we're actually, maybe constructing chords, talking about scales, or it may be something more simpler for the elementary students, like learning to read skips and steps on a staff. What that looks like on the piano. We have some active games where last year we did a really fun one where we held up like a quarter note and we had basketballs for everyone. So we were keeping our beat with our basketballs.
Wow.
And then we did half notes and we did whole notes, and just a variety of rhythmic features there with that. Of course, we always have snacks. That's a fun time. Sometimes just depends on how many activities we need, and this, I think we may try to do this year, particularly with our older students, is a little composition segment where they maybe create a little melody of their own. And we have some really nice prompts that I purchased a few years ago that kind of get us thinking about what could we compose as far as writing a melody or some type of piece to help us think through some activity or maybe a scene or we're trying to depict or something like that. We do some ensemble playing, so we put students together and play whatever we can come up with there. Of course, we have prizes. And then we try to have kind of a feature, I call it a feature event. And that could be a little bit of a study on a composer. We did that for several years where we would take maybe 15 to 30 minutes of our allotted 2-hour time per day, and we would focus on a composer and some of the music that he did and his life, and those are things that I really love, but you just don't have time in a 30-minute private lesson. So last year we did a segment on Ukraine, and so we found a couple of videos that were actually pianists playing in Ukraine, and we talked about how music can help us develop empathy for people and the struggles they go through, and how we as Americans here in Western Kansas, it's really hard for us to comprehend what a war situation would be like. And so, but through music, we can help understand people and the struggles that they go through. So that was fun. Wow. This year, are you ready for this?
What do you have here?
Okay. This year, we're going to study a little bit about the history of the piano and the man whose name is Christoph, who was he's pegged as the inventor of the piano. It was kind of more of a process than that, but anyway. And so we're also going to study about the mechanics of an acoustic piano.
Okay,
now this is not
now
true
it
digital,
makes
okay?
sense.
So now
it
this
makes
is making
sense.
sense.
Okay.
So my husband has been working on this little model here.
You made that?
Well, it's a kit.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So the Arts Council, thank you, Phillips County Arts Council, they purchased this, and then it did have to be assembled. And this is really, these are used by people who are studying to be piano technicians and tuners. So yeah, so we're going to talk about the various parts of the instrument and kind of how it works. And so here's our piano key right here.
Right.
Okay. And so, and you do have to use your imagination just a little bit, because this is a string, even though it looks to you and I like a wooden dowel. It's really a string. Okay. So there you can see there's the hammer.
When it hits that.
And then when it strikes the string.
Now that makes sense,
Okay,
because
and
I've
then
looked underneath this.
Right.
Wow.
So then you got the dampers, which fall back on the strings, and so on.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's a really complicated
Well, that's really
mechanism, isn't it?
complicated there. That is really
Yeah.
how all that works.
Yes. So
Wow.
you have to give it a little muscle.
Okay. What note is that, by the way?
Yeah, I don't know. I was messing around with this one day trying to figure out what that key was, but it's a little hard to tell.
Sure.
So anyway,
so that's great. Yeah.
That'll be part of what we do. And I have some worksheets and activity things that we can do along with that as we study that aspect. So that's our mechanism.
What is
there.
this?
Then I brought some other things to show, and this again kind of shows you what a help the Arts Council is to us. A few years ago, we were able to purchase these magnetic staff boards. And so the students can use a dry erase marker, or these are lots of fun, and we can attach our note like that with magnets. And then what the fun part of this is, and very useful part, I think, is that it gives us immediate access to where that key is on the piano. So if you're reading this on the staff, then that is actually that key right there. So, and of course these are fun. You can build chords with them, and then the students can draw those chords on the keyboard and so on. So yeah, those are a lot of fun. And then another fun thing we do at camp, we play with cups. So a teacher in Wichita who has created a wonderful array of activities and so on, as well as composing student music, has done several. This particular one is called Rhythm Cup Explorations. And so these are rhythm sheets. I don't know if you can actually see that, but they're just pretty basic rhythm sheets. And then we have an accompaniment we do with them. Now, starting out, we don't do any kind of accompaniment. We just do this. But like this one, for example, you have the rhythm for that first measure is just this. Okay. And so on. And then she has other things that she incorporates in there. Like here you tap your forehead, so you do this.
All right.
So that's a lot of fun. And
Okay, wow.
it makes wonderful sound
Sure.
when you get like 10 students. Noise, you might say,
Yeah,
but
right,
we
yeah.
call it sound. So those are some of the
Okay,
fun
all right.
things that
Wow,
we do.
that's great. Yeah, that's something you say the week before Memorial.
Yes,
Okay.
we start on Tuesday,
Well,
Wednesday, Thursday.
We'll have you on here again in May sometime and talk about that. Anything else?
No, except if you're interested, you can go to my piano studio Facebook page, Mary A. Smith Piano Studio, and there's a registration form on there, and you can fill that out, or you can shoot me a message and ask any questions that you might have, or whatever.
Okay, all
So
right. Anytime I have you on, da 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 da.
I'm ready for that, Dad.
Okay, fine. Well, okay, Kim, you're going to come on and talk a little bit here? Okay, well, Kim, coming about a couple of things. Kim Pakkebier, she's on the other side of the camera right now, but she'll be here, and we'll be there after this break.
At Phillips County Health Systems, patient-centered excellence is more than a goal. It's a mission. And that's why we continue to be one of the top critical access hospitals in the country. We care for members of our community through all stages of life, providing quality health care, innovative rehabilitation therapies, and convenient at Phillips County Health Systems.
Prairie Horizon Agri-Energy is now Amber Wave. We are transforming our existing facility in Phillipsburg to turn 20 million bushels of wheat into domestically produced wheat protein for use in the food and feed-related industries. This investment in the community will come together in the summer of 2023 and is expected to add 50 new jobs to the local community. Learn more at amberwaveusa.com. Amber Wave, vital, reliable, sustainable.
The American dream has changed over the years, but Farmers National Bank has not. This is Jean Ann Wagner. Farmers National Bank has been backing the American dream for over 100 years. Tell us what you'd like to accomplish, and we'll work with you to achieve it. As we celebrate 100 years, it's never been about us. It's always been about our customers and their successes. That's the American dream. We're Farmers National Bank in Phillipsburg, Agra, Logan, Kensington, Stockton, and Atwood, member FDIC.
Olive Bovey Furniture in Phillipsburg has so many lazy boys, they're running out of room to show their other great lines of furniture. Olive Bovey is featuring lazy boys at prices that are just too good to pass up. Lazy Boy rocker recliners, Lazy Boy sofas, Lazy Boy reclining sofas. Don't miss this opportunity. Help move the lazy boys so there's more room to show the other great furniture. Olive Bovey Furniture, West Highway 36 in Phillipsburg.
Protection is important, especially when you're talking about your dreams, which is why we're going to keep you covered with plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. That's protection.
And back on the Tadpoll this morning, we're talking with Kim Pakkebier. We've had you on before when maybe a guest can't show up. And usually, yeah, we'll come on. So one thing I want to particularly about is the forensics. I mean, it's been a great year, hasn't it?
It has, and that's kind of one of the advantages of being this fill-in guest is that I'm involved in a lot of different activities. So there are a lot of different things I can talk about.
Okay, so let's talk about forensics.
Right. So yeah, forensics has been a great year. We've gone to 8 different tournaments this season. And actually 9, because we went to one yesterday.
Wow.
And we've qualified 24 different events for our state championship tournament, and which is a new record for Phillipsburg because last year I believe we qualified 19. Now you can only take 16, so now I have to kind of go through and what are our 16 best out of the 24 and get everybody involved as best we can. So. Yeah, it's a good problem to have because we've had a lot of success this year.
It's going to be tough though, someone not getting
Right.
for you to make that decision.
Right, and the one.
I'm sure you have things to follow.
Sure, yeah. Seniors, get the nod if they've been to state before and they have that experience. It's just the same thing as picking your starting lineup for a football team or something like that. I kind of have to do the same thing. The advantage I have also is that there's actually kind of 2 state competitions that go on the same day. So there's the state championship tournament, which is, where the students are going to compete just like they have at regular tournaments. The top 6 are going to eventually be in finals, and there's going to be a clear winner, a first place, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So throughout the state tournament, the champs tournament, they're going to, have 5 performances basically in that one event. There's also a state festival competition that's held on the same day. So state festival is very similar to a music festival, where you perform one time, and the judge doesn't compare you to the other performers, but just basically says, that was awesome, you get a 1. Or, maybe you had a few things to work on, you get a 2, or you really need to work on some things, you get a 3.
And the judge talks to the
yeah, they fill out a ballot.
So they know what they need to do in there. Okay. That's
so the students that I have that I can't put in the state championships tournament because we're limited to 16 entries there, then I can put in state festival. So if anybody's qualified for state, they're gonna be able to compete, whether it's festival or champs.
How come they have it the same day?
Well, I'm kind of surprised actually that they still have a festival.
Really?
Because initially I think when things first started off, they just had festival, and then they decided, hey, we want to have a tournament just like the other Acacia events. Because forensics tournament is set up just like the Acacia basketball tournament, football, state, or whatever. You get the same state medals when you medal. You get the same trophy that our girls basketball team that got 3rd. Hopefully, we'll bring home another state trophy for our school. This year. So last year we did an awesome job. We had 2 state champions and a runner-up. And we ended up getting 2nd overall as a team. So we were able to bring home that trophy and get a banner up in the gym. And so hopefully we can do that again. It's going to be tough. Even if we end up in the top 5 teams, I'll be really proud of us.
That's great. So where is this held at?
This is at Wichita.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The first Saturday of May.
Yeah. Okay. So what else is going on? Well, you said you're involved in several.
Oh, yeah, other activities, right. So I've got, PTV, of course. We've kind of finished up our streaming schedule because, we really pretty much stopped streaming after basketball season. Sometimes in the spring we'll pick up a couple events, whether we film the athletic banquet, sometimes we stream that for people who can't come. We've tried streaming our home track meet, but it's just so hard to stream a track meet because we're not in a...
Well, you can't...
When you watch a track meet on TV, you have to realize that there are many cameras involved.
Yeah, the starting line, the finish line,
right.
the back stretch, and everything, the coming around.
Right.
You got to have a lot of cameras.
Right, and even on your longer races, sometimes you're only going to be following the leader, so a lot of people don't get viewed, so that's kind of difficult too. I know I watched my son, who runs for K-State, was on one of his meets was on ESPN Plus. I'm like, oh, and I couldn't go to the meet, So I'm like, all right, I'll get to see him on TV. And well, their 4x4 wasn't in the lead, so
okay, yeah, sure.
I got a little glimpse of him, but not as much as I had hoped. So it's really difficult to stream track meets.
And streaming, they're still talking about it, I think, in the legislature about doing something with Acacia about opening up again.
Right.
So I'll see what happens on that.
We'll follow that for sure.
Well, you want to share anything about it? A couple of trips you've gone on?
Well, I have had a busy last couple of weeks. I've been, trying to. Well, right now it's kind of fun because both my son and daughter are in spring sports in college, and I'm trying to kind of manage how to go see both of them.
Yeah.
But this is the first year that I've kind of followed the rowing schedule, and so that over spring break, that second weekend of spring break. The K-State rowing team was in California, so I thought, hey, this is a good excuse to take a trip to California and go watch my daughter compete.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun to do. And the K-State boats did really well in their regatta there at Sacramento. And then just last weekend, the team was in Florida at Sarasota. And it's interesting because the first meet that I went to in Sacramento, there were only 4 teams, and actually they were worried that they weren't going to compete at all because California had gotten a lot of rain and
you back there with all that.
Right, and the currents were too high, and so, but they did get to race. And then in Florida, they have the place where they rode isn't the Olympic Training Center for rowing, pretty much, and so it's a much wider facility. It's a facility built for. It's not just a natural lake that
sure.
It's a facility built for rowing specifically, and so there were 8 lanes across, and so the races were a lot of fun because here comes 7 boats, and like which one's her, and so we're at California. There might only been 3 or 4 boats at one time racing, so it was a lot of fun.
Did you make it to the beach?
Sort of. Yeah. Not as long as I'd hoped because it was busy. It was a busy time, and I was there to watch the rowing, and so I kind of focused in on that, and had to get back for school on Monday. So
airlines all right?
Yeah, all the flights went really well.
I love to fly, but I don't know if I could drive. I think I'd drive, and if you're in a hurry, I know why you can't.
Right. I think the most interesting thing about all of that was the rental car situation. And then, like, rental cars are more expensive than the flights, to try to manage getting the rental car and so forth. When I went to California, I just said, give me the cheapest thing. And they ended up giving me this big, huge 4x4 Jeep. It's like big old tires. I'm like, why am I driving this huge Jeep? Is this the cheapest thing? And it was the cheapest car, but what wasn't cheap about it was filling it up with gas. It wasn't the most fuel efficient. And then
I remember the ads you have on TV, $5 a day. There's not $5 a day anymore.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get them sometimes.
Yeah. But then when I was in Florida, I got this little teeny tiny car. It was very fuel efficient, but I'm like buzzing down these interstates. So you never know what you're going to get, I guess.
So has it been a good school year then?
Yeah. Yeah, it has been
really involved in everything.
Right. And this is for all our high school students and our high school teachers, this is just a crazy time of year because there are so many activities going on and state assessments going on. My sophomores are taking state assessments today even. So
really?
There's there's a lot of things going on, and it's a challenge for students to kind of manage all those activities and keep up with their schoolwork. And it's also tough because it's the spring, and the weather starts getting nice.
Right.
They don't want to go right home and do their homework, right? They want to enjoy the weather.
Okay, well, Kim, again, thank you again for making it possible for us to do this. To fill in, because like I said, I was looking forward to talking to you with Bill because I've known him so long, but on the KMEA, that was a nice thing.
Very good honor for him.
Becky Sadler. No more cinnamon rolls, can't order anymore. They're going to be delivered this weekend, I guess. And if you still want to, last week we talked with Sandra Van Kooten about the community garden. Still want to get in there, 785-302-0486. I'll let you go and turn this off there, Kim. Also, there's no more no grab and go soups today. That's over for the season. Sunday morning at the Community Church of God, Roger Cooper will be there conducting the services at 10:30. So we'll see you next Thursday morning. We've already talked to some people about coming on. We hope that everyone can make it and they're in better health. We got Cynthia. I hope Cynthia gets better also. So we'll see you next Thursday morning on the Tadpoll.